I forgot. Happy birthday to Anto. Anyway, I realized after a while I was running with tears and snot all over my face, and I was writing something down in my notebook, but I couldn't remember why I was running anymore. I started to slow down and read what I had written in my notebook. The memory I forgot just a moment ago instantly came back to me. While I was screaming, I ran through the central plaza at full speed. After blindly climbing over the iron fence, I ran along the pavement until I saw the dormitory ahead of me. I went into the dormitory as quickly as I could, looking for Matsuda-kun's room. At a time like this, the only one I can think of, the only one I can rely on is him. As I went down the dormitory corridor, I flipped through my notebook looking for where Matsuda-kun's room is. I remembered something. Unless you have a good reason, you can't visit Matsuda-kun's room at all. But if this isn't a good reason, then I don't know what is, so I ignored that warning. I flicked further through the pages. I finally remembered where Matsuda-kun's room was and arrived at it. Bang, 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 bang. I violently banged on his door and screamed with all my strength. Matsuda-kun, it's an emergency, an emergency. No matter how long I waited at his door, it didn't open. Matsuda-kun! Oi, Matsuda-kun! Even so, I continued to bash my hands on his door. Desperately, I still hit the door. As I lost hope that he would appear, I still hit my hands on the door. Hey, banging. I still bashed on the door. Who is it already? A door opened, but it was to the room next door. Huh? Strangely enough, there was no one there. The door had opened and I heard a voice, but I couldn't see anyone. So what happened? What's with the bracket? The voice echoed through the hallway. It was the voice of a child. I looked around once, but just as I thought, there was no one there. Big sis, where are you looking? I'm over here. Where are you? I screamed at the seemingly empty hallway. Show yourself. With that, I heard the voice again. Ahahaha. I'm not hiding. I'm right in front of you. You just haven't realized it yet, big sis. Right in front of me. To help calm myself, I took in a deep breath, slowed my harsh breathing, and focused my mind. That's when I realized, oh, have you finally noticed me? Right in front of my eyes stood a small young boy who looked strangely like a Zashiki Warashi. I think I butchered that. I'm sorry. Don't feel bad about not seeing me. You see, my presence has always been very noticeable ever since I was born. Nearly everyone I meet doesn't notice me. It doesn't bother me though. I'm used to it. He had the face of a young boy and the voice of someone who had not reached puberty. He lacked any distinctive features, surprisingly enough. For instance, if you were told to draw a child's face without looking at a picture for reference, you would end up drawing this one. It was identifiable in one aspect at least. Due to the lack of features, he certainly had a unique face. So what's wrong? And what do you mean what's wrong? And what do you mean what's wrong? Oi, I mean, you came here banging on the door screaming bloody murder an hour when even insomniacs would be asleep, and you don't even know what's wrong? In his hands, he held a huge bag filled to the brim with sweet bread that would be suitable for the appetite of people in a gross book. On the front of the paper bag, it looked like the logo for Hansel and Gretel. He picked the sweet bread out of the bag and tossed it in his mouth. Full for fun. And what do you say? The young boy chewed and swallowed the bread. I said, what happened? Tell me. My talents are pretty useful. As he urged me on, he looked at me, paying special attention to my chest and legs. Before we get to that, I'd like to ask something. Why is there a kid here? Does your big brother or big sister go to this school? I'm Kamishiro Yuto from Hope Peak Academy's 77th batch. Nice to meet you. Huh? I'm a high school student. What? Of course my hair down low has already grown. Oh my. Don't act so surprised. Anyway, I've introduced myself. So why not tell me your name? Right, with that I held up my notebook in front of his face. Well, that's one way to introduce yourself, he replied from the other side of my notebook. Otonashi Ryoko, is it? It's not a bad name. My patience leveled up waiting for you just to introduce yourself, though. He had an innocent laugh, just like a primary school student. Well then, his face suddenly became very serious. What kind of trouble? His eyes sparkled with curiosity. Or rather, they glared with curiosity. Actually, it wasn't curiosity. They were more greedy, more calculating, more fanatical. It's just you seem to be in a huge rush. So I can only assume you saw something pretty bad. He stared me in the eyes with an aura that seemed to clash with his young appearance. He thrust his hand into the paper bag and took out a sweet bread like it was the lolly. Oh, sweet, Ibisu pumpkin melon bread. At that moment, he pulled an innocent smile and stuffed the bread into his mouth happily. So what is it? This trouble? It's not really trouble or anything. It's just I needed to get into Matsuda-kun's room. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Kamishiro-kun swallowed the bread and said, Matsuda Yasuki is out. Out? Yup, out. Eh? I yelled out without meaning to, and my voice echoed through the dormitory. No way! He can't! He sure as heck picked a great time to disappear. You say that, but it might have been unavoidable. Kenshiro-kun continued to nibble his bread. Despite my obvious distraught emotional state, I mean, his edginess is kind of well known among the 77th batch. After banging against his door so loudly, I'm pretty sure he would have noticed by now. I'm in the next room and even I noticed and came out to investigate. But if he's not here, Then where is Matsuda-kun? Maybe he's pulling an all-nighter at his lab. He does spend entire nights there pretty often. Got his lab. I turned away from him and began to run. Ah, wait!
Can you see me good? Good.
Kamishiro-kun stopped me. You can't be going there now. Do you forget? I think there's a crime prevention center on the island fence in the East District, eh? I can't go, so then I can't rely on Matsuda-kun for this. You got to be kidding. I searched through my brain thoroughly. Oh no, what should I do? This is the biggest crisis I've ever faced. So why not tell me? Kamishiro-kun looked towards me with a calm expression. It's a shame to see Big Sis's cute face having such a troubled expression. I can't just leave. What's the situation? I'll listen to you. What kind of trouble? Well, you know, what was it again? Apparently my head doesn't know. Looks like I forgot again. Wait, happy moment. I quickly checked my notes. Ahaha, I said you don't have to hide it. Well, if it wasn't that serious, then you really shouldn't have knocked on his door like that. At this time of night, it's almost as if you found a dead body from Kendaichi case files. A dead body. As soon as Kamishiro-kun said that, I found the words in my notebook. At that moment, I was attacked by a sudden realization and stopped breathing. Hey, what's wrong? Oi, you look like you just saw a ghost, Big Sis. I found the memories that said I found a dead body. I couldn't breathe. I tried telling myself the breath over and over again. This has nothing to do with me. Just keep repeating that. Nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. For me, it was like repeating a magical enchantment. Every time I said that, the world quickly shrunk down. It was a magical enchantment. That's right. Nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me, right? By repeating that to myself, I was finally able to calm myself down and close the notebook. Pop. I read my memory once more carelessly. Otonashi Ryoko's memory notebook at the feet of the dead body. At that moment, I screamed louder than I ever had before. Ah, I forgot! My notebook had been dropped in a puddle. No matter how many times I could argue that it had nothing to do with me, I couldn't deny the fact my name was there at the scene of the crime. This is no different to being an extra being pulled into center stage in front of a faceless audience and given harsh treatment. This is bad. My heart was pounding violently. What I do? What I'll do? It was breaking. The world beneath my feet was crumbling apart. Before it fell apart completely, though, I needed to get that notebook. Driven by my frustrations at maximum level, I sped off at full speed. But Big Sis, wait a second. A voice called from behind me. If you just tell me what the situation is, well then, if you could tell Matsuda-kun when he comes back that I was looking for him. Bye, I yelled back loudly without even looking and went through the corridor. I left the dormitory and dashed along the sidewalk in the South District. I climbed over the fence with my momentum from running. I ran as quickly as I could through the pitch black darkness to the Central Plaza. Even after I had run out of breath, I didn't notice and continued running at full speed. I barely made it to the fountain, but what? I felt a strange sense of discomfort. I strained my eyes to see over and over again. And yeah, there's something strange here. I usually trust other people more than I trust my own head. If I come across some strange circumstances, I would doubt my own breath. I discovered the dead body of an old man at the fountain in the central plaza, but at least my memories seem to back up my conviction. The reason behind my feeling of discomfort was caused by the scene in front of me. There's no dead body, that's the reason. It was strange that there was a dead body, but now that there's no dead body, it's only stranger, stranger and stranger. The epitome of strangeness. Perhaps they're actually alive, or maybe they're undead. I didn't know what the reason was. Unconsciously, I looked around me. At the base of one of the nearby trees, I saw something. It was the notebook, the one with Otonashi Ryoko's memory notebook written on it. But what's this? Why would my notebook be here? I was questioning it. I walked to where the notebook was. Da, 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 da. I flinched and started trembling as I looked behind me. There was a girl standing right behind me. Ha ha ha! So you finally decided to show up. She was in a daunting pose, with her arms folded over her chest. She looked to be around the same age as me. She had flashy makeup on that seemed to have come straight out of a fashion magazine. She had a soft, sizable blonde hair. Her chest bulged out of her uniform, which was stupidly partially unbuttoned. Under her short skirt were a pair of long, thin, white legs. At first glance, she looked like a normal cute girl, but those eyes seemed anything but ordinary. Her eyes were black, bottomless swamps. They were so dark, they seemed to imprison any surrounding darkness. Such strange eyes. As soon as I saw her eyes, the warning lights in my head flashed code red. Run away! Every cell in my anatomy was screaming at me to run. But at the same time, it felt like any resistance I put was futile. I was a prisoner in her jail, but I couldn't stay still. Hey, why are you ignoring me? Are you a mute character by default? The girl was smiling, but it was a smile that absolute power gave to the weak. It was a smile of pure evil. I get it. She suddenly raised her voice. She lifted her head and pointed her index finger at my forehead. What you were just thinking about. You were looking at where my arms were forward, weren't you? Come to think of it, I never cross my arms across my chest anymore. But that's because some girls' breasts are too large to fold their arms over, right? How rude. A woman who takes pride in her chest size is awful. You should trust in the Lord's boobs. Don't you know that all those bad things are born from the fantasy world of variety shows, anime, and games? Ah, gross. It's seriously gross. But you know, have more faith in the now. Just because out in rural areas, you might have been considered hot property, when you come out to the city, you don't compare to anyone. But you still want to be noticed, so you stupidly take off your clothes for anyone, when in reality, they can see she's just a girl with an empty head and a high who they can easily take the virginity from. Changing the subject, virgins are the worst, aren't they? Even more so the fact that the characters for virgin and the characters for Don Zeus or Zeus name are so familiar. Similar. But even so, after all that, Lubu was still the one to murder him. So I guess in the end, Don Zhao is still trillions of times better than a virgin. And what was I talking about? Ah, right. The story of Cow Cow. In retrospect, Cow Cow joined the coalition against Don Zero is at least a lit. Hey, can you slow down? Ow! Obviously offended that I tried to call for when she pressed her index finger into my forehead, making me stop. Ah, I remember. This time we were talking about how you should have more faith in boobs. You know, if you have any bad things to say about faith in boobs, then you should just drop it right now. Or you should just pronuncio in Italiano. If you don't, then it'll be difficult for you when you get older. Understand? They'll end up drooping all over the shop. Or will you be one of those people who end up winning against the effects of gravity? Have you somehow acquired the skills to defeat gravity? Why surprised? So then is Magneto going to come scout you out? Well, so I say, but is it possible that he's already found? Please stop, boy. I tried stopping her by being more insistent, but she shoved her fingers into my mouth. Shut down. Wait, that's not it. What is it you say when you want someone to stop talking? Well, whatever. In any case, stop talking. Stop interrupting me. I love talking, you know. Silent Chen should keep her mouth shut like a good Silent Chen. Since it's my turn right now after all. However, I don't understand anything you're saying. Saliva flowed out of my mouth onto your fingers and into a thin thread towards the ground. Though the girl didn't seem to notice that at all. In any case, what's your name? Silent Chin? Fug ha ho hey. Fug oi oi, she made a grumpy face. Don't say fuga. I don't actually know how it's pronounced. Just say your name. If you don't say it in 3 seconds or less, then I'll follow the 3-second rule and whip your tongue out. As she finished saying that, she grasped my tongue in her fingers. She dug her fingers in and used them as a vice for my tongue. Okay, 1. She started the countdown. Huh? It's not a joke. My body was covered in a cold sweat. Wait a second. I can't talk if she's holding my tongue. 2. I realized I was still holding my notebook in my hand. Quickly, I threw it in front of her eyes. Otonashi Ryoko, is it? But that's too bad. Like she was a demon from the underworld, she spread her mouth into a smile and laughed. I told you to say your name, didn't I? Not show me your name, Flaw. Well then, it's been 3 seconds. I'm taking your tongue now. With everything I could muster, I tried desperately to resist. Her nails cut into my tongue cruelly. The taste of iron and blood mixed in my saliva throughout my mouth. As I tasted it, my will to fight rapidly disappeared. She stared at me blankly, her eyes filled with the dark color of despair as they absorbed any hope I had. She reminded me that it was useless to resist. All my energy seemed to disappear, and my notebook slipped out of my hand. I gave up on everything and let my body rest. Uh-huh! I heard a laughing voice. Uh-huh! Ah-ha-ha! Ha-ha-ha-ha! She was laughing bizarrely with an ecstatic expression and flushed cheeks. More laughing. She ruthlessly, barbarically laughed. When she finished laughing, she finally pulled her fingers out of my mouth. Cough, cough, cough. As soon as she did, I was coughing like a crazy person. Blood mixed with saliva dripped out of my mouth. I was joking. It was all a big joke. There's no reason why I'd want your tongue. Do you come from the Middle Ages or something? Cough, 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 cough. Hey, are you wondering why I do something like that? I'll tell you why. I want to see that face of yours filled with despair. You see, for me, that's the best kind of self-introduction. She bent over towards me while I was still coughing and wiped the saliva from her hands onto my back. Then she said in a very serious tone of voice, "Anyway, I still haven't introduced myself, have I?" I stood up properly surprised. I was overcome by a bad feeling, like something really awful was about to happen. I wanted no involvement with this girl. My intuition rejected her, but she didn't stop. She continued proudly and announced her name. "My name is Tankujura Buta." Tankujura Buta? Not really, it was a joke. A joke. Has she no concept of timing? You were thinking, has she no concept of timing, right? Furthermore, she is excellent at guessing, but jokes are just great, don't you think? Hey, wasn't it Hirobumi Ito who said jokes and humor exist so mankind can live without going mad? That was a lie. Hirobumi-chan never said any such thing. I didn't know how to reply. In any case, the girl finally replied. It really took her a while. "My name is Enoshima Junko. I go by super high school level fashion girl. Sometimes I'm a charismatic model with an adoring audience. Sometimes I'm a charismatic. I can't tell you yet, forgive me." She announced herself, and the light from the outdoor light shone on her back as if she were an actor in the spotlight on stage. Enoshima Junko. I couldn't read this girl's thoughts out, but I knew I shouldn't associate with her. My body began moving by itself. Incidentally, I noticed I had picked up my notebook and was writing her name in it. Yo, what are you doing? Enoshima-san looked at me quickly with a curious face. This is... Without being able to think of a good answer, I hesitated to reply. "Oh, don't tell me it's a secret. You're going in your silent Chen mode again." She puffed out her cheeks like she was a little kid and made a frustrated expression. From one moment to the next, her expression changed in a heartbeat. I admit I was a little impressed. You know, the whole silent Chen character isn't really installed today, huh? Since human beings have such excellent conversational skills, you shouldn't exploit it anymore. It's Reese Witherspoon. No, wait, it's not. It's really wasteful. But this conversation is going nowhere. All you ever say is too cryptic for. Stop saying you. I introduced myself earlier, didn't I? Her tone was threatening. Enoshima-san, I haven't been able to understand anything you said for a while. It's been too Doctor-san, I hate to be referred to with such formalities, but we only met a few minutes ago. I really shouldn't be rude. We're not complete strangers or anything. Ah ha ha ha. What's wrong? I mean, you and I are pen pals. Pen pals? You know, you read my letter, didn't you? You came here because you read it, didn't you? What letter? I checked through my notebook quickly and was soon reminded. As I remember, I raised my voice in surprise. Eh? So then you? That's right, I'm the one who took your memory hostage. I'm the secret identity of that beautiful kidnapper. But why? Hey, don't rely on me. Think for yourself for once. So you really want Matsuda-kun and I to? That's absolutely wrong. I tried my best to answer well, but I was just dismissed instantly by her with a threatening attitude. Well, either way, I can't really tell you much. As she said that, Enoshima-san took the notebook that had been placed under the tree and stuffed it away in her cleavage without paying any mind to the wet cover. Oof, oof, oof. It's too bad, but I'm keeping this notebook for a while longer. I can't let you take it from the crime scene. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Enoshima's son's eyes suddenly widened. Oh my, my, she said, turning around while looking at everyone. She yelled out like a madman. It's gone, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone, it's gone. I was taken aback by a sudden change and timidly asked her, what's gone? It's gone, isn't it weird? There's nothing here, there's nothing here. She ran around the perimeter of the tree saying the same thing over and over again like a broken record, though I did not understand why. So tell me, what's gone? I pressed more with a stronger tone of voice. Finally, she looked at me. In contrast to what I expected her expression to look like, her face was completely expressionless. She continued looking at me with a vacant face and spoke in a terribly monotone voice, in a light tone as if she was talking about something like a drop coin. The dead body, the body that was dead. There was a post-death body here, people. Huh? You forgot that too? Seriously, you really are forgetful. I mean, you saw the dead body too, didn't you? As she said that, another question came to my mind. Huh? How do you know I'm forgetful? Did I tell you? That doesn't matter. There's no mistake. I know there was definitely a corpse here before. Enoshima-san's voice rose. She brushed aside my question. You've got to believe me. There was a dead body here earlier. I know there was because I killed him myself. Huh? I went stiff suddenly. I mean, I came up from behind him and hung him with my own two hands. You know, he wet his pants a little. Old men like him really should always have diapers at the ready. If they didn't, really would give a person a better sense of relief. Huh? I stood still, as if someone had cast confused on me. In short, despite my confused state, Enoshima-san continued to talk with exaggerated gestures. Teehee, I'm a little hesitant to say, but some of it got on my clothing, so I went to the bathroom to wash myself. But while I was gone, the dead body seems to have slipped away. It totally disappeared. My bad. He really surprised me with that pee. So you know that notebook I picked up just now was covered in pee, huh? To be honest with you, I had him there only as a sort of example for others. Seriously, who did that, huh? Honestly, are you going on with that again? Shouldn't you get with the times already and bring out your inner energetic character? Huh? What an idiot. It was useless. In my head, I couldn't make sense of a word spinning round and round in my thoughts. As they grinded against my brain, I was struck by an awful headache. I really just don't get her at all. Anyway, she said she had just killed someone, didn't she? Why would she say that to someone she only just met? Ah, you're wondering why I tell all this to you, aren't you? Once again, she guessed correctly. I've decided you're going to help me, eh? I was in a daze, but I had a tremendous amount of anxiety building inside of me, and it spread out to my whole body. Me? Help you? But wait a second. I can't get involved in something like that, huh? I said I can't get involved in something like that, huh? I said, stop stressing so much. You're starting to turn too much into an energetic character. It's not that you misunderstood me. I mean, for example, when you eat cup ramen, you have to wait 3 minutes after putting in the hot water. While waiting, you ask out loud, why 3 minutes? And listen for an answer, but no one ever answers, do they? My thoughts were filled with an overwhelming, chaotic mess. What are you talking about? That has nothing to do with. It has everything to do with it. It's the same thing. Enoshima-san, we toured with a strong tone. I've decided you're going to do what I tell you to. I don't have to explain anymore. I'm not boasting or anything, but I get too impatient and always give up before it's been 3 minutes. People always think I prefer harder noodles, but the reason isn't anywhere near that confusing. Hey, you get me, don't you? Any cognition I may have had disintegrated with a rattling sound. My brain had collapsed into a mound of rubble. All that remained was an astoundingly large question mark. I don't understand her at all. That was the one and only thing I knew for absolute sure. It's possible to understand others perfectly. It's easier to perform the superhuman act of making it to the Olympics. That would be a truly incredible feat. Still, I knew from the very start that I shouldn't get involved with her. But hey, at least it's still not too late to get away from her. That's right, I should run away. Finally, it came down to such a simple answer. Immediately, I backed away from her. I kicked the ground and ran the other way, only to run into Enoshima-san head-on. What the? I fell on my bum. My whole body went numb and my backside hurt. I looked up at her. Before I knew it, Enoshima-san was blocking my route. How was she able to move there so quickly? It was as if she had moved before I had even turned and managed to walk around me, so she was behind me in a split second. Teleportation? I prefer Shukuchi. That's what they use in light novels. I like that more. My whole body felt beaten and bruised. It seems like no matter what I do, I won't be able to escape from this score. I could say this has nothing to do with me as many times as I want, but this girl won't let me have nothing to do with it. Hey, maybe you misunderstood me. She crouched down and looked at me properly. I couldn't look away from her eyes. Warning bells rung in my head again. I couldn't look away. I told you, it doesn't matter if you want to or not. It all depends on what Enoshima Junko decides. That's why the very idea of even running away from Enoshima Junko is just idiotic. Since everything in this world belongs perfectly to Enoshima Junko, this man, that girl, anyone and everyone in this planet was just born and given accommodation on Enoshima Junko's world to be free, but yours is mine and you are mine. This whole planet is just a plaything for Enoshima Junko. What? This girl is so self-centered and evil, it's nauseating. I could only hope this girl wasn't serious and silently cursed my own lack of luck up for running into her. Well, whatever's fine, but getting back on topic, the Debai, she seemed to be changing the discussion. She shifted away onto her other leg and directed a question at me. Hey, do you know Hope's Peak Academy Steering Academy? Hope's Peak Academy Steering Committee? I checked through my notebook, but I couldn't find those words anywhere. It seems like I know nothing about them, but why would she suddenly say that name all of a sudden? Smells like you haven't. Oh, nonsense. Sorry. Do over. Looks like you haven't. Enoshima Junko spread out her hands in an exaggerated manner, just like a show presenter. Bing, bing. That's right. The corpse that should have been here. That was a member of Hope's Peak Academy Steering Committee. Those guys have more power than the teaching staff and the headmaster. That means they're practically in charge of the whole place. Oof, oof, ooh. Doesn't hearing that sort of thing make you all excited? No, this girl was the only one getting excited. But you don't have to worry. I mean, I decided to kill him here. That's right. I had decided everything from the very beginning. In the end, it's pointless. No matter how much those guys tried to hide the incident, I unintentionally paid attention to her again. It was just an instant reaction I had without really meaning to react. It was something I blurted out in the spur of the moment, without thinking about it. Oh my, oh my, oh my, you're interested after all? You're interested about that? After hearing a thing like that incident in quotation marks so many times, you can't help but feel curious, right? Enoshima-san then placed her hands on her hips, put on a proud pose, and declared loudly, I'm talking about the world's largest incident in Hope's Peak Academy's history. That's what I mean by that incident. As soon as I heard the words in the inside of my head, I felt a weird heat. What is this? A hot tingling sensation paralyzed my consciousness at the same time, as if I were manipulated by a puppet master. I started to write down words in my notebook. The world's largest incident in Hope's Peak Academy's history. You'd be really good as a part-time worker since you always have to write down everything the manager tells you on the first day in a memo book. But if I ever had to listen to managers constant talking, I send them to the underworld. I'm not even kidding. I take them straight to the underworld. First, I'd attack their family, then I'd attack all their friends and acquaintances so they can get a small tasting of despair. Then finally, when they're begging for me to kill them, I'll make them suffer even more. Anyway, who are you? I looked up from my notebook in surprise. The girl had a perfect glare on. it could slice down anything in its path. But she wasn't looking at me. Instead, she was looking at something behind me. I looked back for a brief second, but I just saw trees in the pitch black darkness of night. Hey, I asked you who you were. Aren't you listening? Even so, Enoshima-san continued to question the darkness. In the corner of my peripheral vision, I think I saw something move. Just after that, something emerged, swaying from a gap in the densely packed trees. And a white mask against a jet black background appeared. It was a person's face. It seemed almost like it was completely covered in white paint. Ah, you found me, huh? Along with the voice, I could make out a silhouette of a person out of the darkness. I could see a pair of eyes that looked like they belonged to a snake. A long, slender boy dressed in a black school uniform. He had black hair that slid down to his shoulders, matching his clothing with black on black. From the clearing, a white face with thin eyes, not like a reptile peeked out. My name is Midori Ishiki. It was a man's mouth, though it looked almost as if it did not move. I see, that's nice and all, but what a silly name. Enoshima Junko is 1,000 times cooler. I could see Enoshima-san blowing back at him over my shoulder. Even in this situation, this girl was smiling and looking unnerved. I can't argue with that. But I do still have confidence in this name of mine. But speaking of which, you seem to have an upper hand in something else. Huh? And what's that? If I could, I wanted to talk with you alone. Well, I suppose this is inevitable. Mowing under his breath, Midori took something out of his pocket. What looks to be a photo, like a reptile, he restlessly moved his line of sight up and down, looking between us and the photo he was holding. I see now, so that's Enoshima Junko. So you need Enoshima Junko for something? She replied instantly. No, I just heard a rumor about how Enoshima Junko is a flawlessly perfect, beautiful woman with no equal. Well, that's certainly the case, but no. Midori carefully separated his words and radically changed his tone of voice. Is it not Enoshima Junko who is involved in that incident? So you want to hear what I know about it? Haha, no can do. Even after that, Enoshima-san was smiling as carefree as ever. The strong facade she had once showed no signs of breaking. I wouldn't bother talking about that to small fry like yourself. Knowing your place, I thought you'd say as much. Well, I didn't expect you to tell me easily. What are you gonna do about it? Don't tell me. You're gonna force it out of me? What are you, an old-fashioned liberal? Such a stupid old-fashioned tech. Only works in B-cinema films. I may be old-fashioned, but I should tell you, I'm not the type to go easy on women. I can only hope you're not expecting me to act nice. Midori shy stared right through us. Midori and Enoshima-san glared at each other. I seemed to be able to hear a rumbling sound. This really has nothing to do with me, right? This is a matter to be sorted out between a man named Midori Ishiki and a woman named Enoshima Junko. So I really don't have anything to do with this. But if that's the case, why am I trembling in fear when I have no connection to this at all? Well then, are the two of you prepared if you... Wait a second! I raised my voice in protest. Enoshima-san and Midori both redirected their gazes to me. It's just, isn't it strange that you said two? I mean, what use would I be for? I can't let one of you run away. Now can I? You seem to be involved with Enoshima Junko, so there's a possibility that you may also be involved in that incident. Madara said while licking his lips. You have only yourself to blame for getting involved with Enoshima Junko. I've been hearing complaints about this girl for quite some time now. I was only prepared for one person, but now I have to deal with two. That's twice as much work. But still, since I was patient before, patient now comes to me. But what is that? What a confusing theory. No, that's not a theory. It's just an overwhelming self-sound ethic. Speaking of self-sound, though, it still doesn't compare to hers. I get it. You definitely have a can-do attitude, but you know this girl here has a can-kill attitude. While saying that, Enoshima-san pat my head as she smiled. Which girl was he talking about? Hey, now's not the time to be absent-minded. I'll see you later. Huh? See who when? Ah, I see the resemblance. Your imitation of bad fur seals have improved so much. But now's not the time for that. Go ahead and fight him quickly now. It's your job, isn't it? Did she say fight him? What are you saying? I screamed out and threw my hands in the air. It's fine. You're a can-do girl. That's right, a can-kill, can-die girl. Oi, don't speak with such twisted words. Saying things like can-kill, can-die. It's not really something high school girls should say. As I heard him say that, Madara grimaced with a bare smile. Oh my, you don't like mutual killing? Enoshima-san replied with a mocking tone of voice. Whatever shall I do? I didn't expect you to have such resolve. I'm a little disappointed. It's only natural. I don't have a reason to kill. After all, I'm still planning on hearing many stories. I'll try to keep your mouths working at least. Madara squinted his snake-like eyes further to emphasize his point. He repeated himself, but only your mouths. He stood tall and swayed like a flame on a candle. With each sway, he inched closer. It's seriously a can-do attitude. It's only natural. I've been waiting for this opportunity ever since that incident. As Madara said that, he gripped his hand to his chest and squeezed. Though his hand seemed to contrast against his snake-like appearance, if I do hit him, his face would cave in just like a manga character's. What should we do? What can I do? I looked back with my eyes filling with tears. I knew it. It really can't be helped. Enoshima-san looked stiff and replied in a quiet, deep voice. She then changed back to a normal, refreshing tone. You're up. What? Wait! Haha, don't worry. It'll be fine. She pulled me into a hug from behind. Of course, you'll cooperate with me. Now you'll be able to display your ability to your heart's content. Huh? My ability? Did she say my ability? Hey, when you're in a pickle, shouldn't you just look in your notebook? Ah, right. As she said that, I looked back down at my notebook, and as soon as I did that, whoosh, crash, bang. Sorry, crack, bang. Boom, thump, thud, bam, 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 bam. Sounds that you would usually only hear in anime echoed around. I looked up out of reflex. Enoshima-san, who was hugging my shoulders only a moment ago, was now engaged in an intense battle with Madurai, just a few meters in front of me. Kapow! Wham! Bang! 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 Madurai attacked with his limbs as if they were whips. Against it, Enoshima-san didn't pull back an inch. Despite her femininity. What was that move? Hey you look like a pig. Stop pacing, I mean spacing out. Enoshima-san swung her leg around like she was an amazing gymnast and raised her voice. Keep reading your notebook. As she swooped her leg around, Madurai dropped to the ground with a short groan. As he did that, he twisted around his slender body and with the momentum he returned a kick as if he were breakdancing. Whoops! Enoshima-san dodged, jumping in the air. Madurai took the opportunity to get back on his feet and immediately threw a right straight punch. It looked as though he was too far away to land a hit, but his arm ignored its length, reached her. However, Enoshima-san managed to block it with her fist, reversed the action and kicked his abdomen with her right leg. Gwa! Madurai groaned out in response. The two finally stopped fighting. Oh, I win! That was a crescent kick. Ever since I saw it in a magazine, I've been wanting to try it out. The crouching Madurai didn't question her. Enoshima-san had a big cheesy grin on. In any case, how did the school wrestling fight even begin? I've gotten, but there seems to be no context for. I told you, what are you doing standing around like an idiot? I was standing motionless, stunned, when Enoshima-san's frustrated voice interrupted my thoughts. Hurry up and use your notebook to fill you in. I don't want to risk my life for nothing. Her expression changed. A high kick came at her from behind like a whip. Enoshima-san's thin body was mowed down like a piece of paper. Ah! She raised her voice and jumped away before she could look around. Phew, that was risky. She got from her kneeling position as if nothing happened. Speaking of risky, her left arm appeared to have a red mark on it. It seems like she must have used it in order to block Madurai's kick. I thought it was strange that Enoshima's thin arms weren't broken out by the force. No, it seems like I wasn't the only one. Madurai was scowling at Enoshima-san, looking clearly frustrated. A bit long. Ufu, scared since I'm so strong? Did you hold back? I'm the ultimate weapon fashion girl, who is thus far unbeaten in 300 fights. Bam! Sharp, he hatefully scoffed outwards. Madurai went for another strikeout. The intense battle resumed. They ran at each other using their whole bodies, right and right foot, left and left foot, and alternated rapidly from offensive to defensive, back to offensive. While watching them, I began writing things down in my notebook. Come on! Enoshima-san had just returned a high round house kick, and Madurai's grin strained. He avoided her high kick, crouched down, and died down by. His long hands reached out to her and tried to hug her waist, but in that moment, Enoshima-san thrust her knee to his chin. Gah! Madurai managed to swerve in mid-tackle and narrowly avoid Enoshima-san's knee barely. but he lost his balance and tried to land on the grass with his right hand. However, he landed with his entire right side body with a hiya. Enoshima-san delivered another roundhouse kick. Hastily, Madoai attempted to guard with his right hand, but it was too late. The intense kick hit Madoai's right temple. With a dry sound, Madoai's bent finger slid up the lawn. I win, I butterfly senbad to the zigzag senba, saying that Enoshima-san laughed loudly. I have a habit of letting my blabby mouth take charge. Well, you really should take some time to relearn the basics. You gotta crawl before you can walk, Enoshima-san cackled. She took out a hand mirror from under her uniform and began to fix her hair. Despite having just been in a fight, she was breathing calmly like nothing had happened. I went up to her and cheered happily. You did it! Somehow you did it! I thought you were done for a ball. Enoshima-san's expression completely 180'd. Huh? Her eyes filled with disgust. Were you even paying attention? Do you think it's case closed? That's an oh my god size misunderstanding. Eh? I saw something get up in the corner of my eye. It was Madoai. How? That kick shouldn't have sent him back so far. He was using his own strength to be thrown back as well. He could minimize his injuries. It was just because I was going easy on him to begin with. Screech! I could hear the grinding sound of scraping metal. Madoai was grinding his teeth enough to cause sparks. Oh, are you angry? Are you angry at someone? I directed my attention from me. At Madoai, an unsteady voice came from behind me in Enoshima-san's direction. It's fine. There's no way you can lose against that guy, probably. At least try to sound more convinced, I said, looking over everything I wrote down. Sorry. Don't look away, Enoshima-san's voice lectured me. Don't look away from your fight. That's one of the basics, huh, Prey? In contrary, I rather think it's my side that's the play. While grinding his teeth, Madoai reached out to us and moved closer. He was giving off an aura of bloodthirst like a hungry viper. I felt like an intimidated rabbit trembling. In this kind of situation, Enoshima-san is really the only one I can rely on. What? Madoai's eyes suddenly widened. When did what? I did not like the sound of those words. I looked behind me fearfully. What did she say it was again? I looked at my notebook again and remembered. That's right, I know now. That was Shukuchi, wasn't it? When I looked behind me, there wasn't anyone there. Without realizing it, Enoshima Junko's figure, shape and shell was gone. Looks like you've been left behind. It was a voice from behind me. Looking back in front of me, I saw Madurai. He looked down at me with tenacity. But there's no one to blame for it. I'll just have to deal with it later. The order has just changed that. That's all. His words were like a death sentence. I finally noticed my own basic mistake. I was idiotically relying on Enoshima Junko, so I'm not really complaining about it. In any case, I have to do something. I looked doubtfully to where I dropped my notebook. I heard Madurai's voice. Oi, why do you keep looking at that notebook? That's... I couldn't lift my face. My mind went blank, and I forcibly flipped through the notebook. Without things falling out, I couldn't find a good way to escape. I tried my best to stall for time. But please wait a moment. Your purpose is to investigate the world's largest incident in Hope's Peak Academy's history, isn't it? I don't think it'll do any good questioning me on it since I know nothing about the incident. Why do you know its name? Madurai's cold voice made me flinch and tremble. But what do you mean? Earlier, I only referred to it as that incident. Why do you know about the world's largest incident in Hope Peak Academy's history? I raised my face timidly. Madurai glared at me with a growing intensity. I looked back at my notebook immediately to escape from his gaze. I only just heard about it myself. I didn't know it was an actual thing. In the first place, as far as the name the world's largest incident in Hope Peak Academy's history, only a few people in this school know. The fact that you talked about it with no hesitation means you really are suspicious. Looks like I really hit the jackpot. I didn't have to look to know. His reptile-like cruel eyes were smiling. A shiver went down my spine. My cold limbs went stiff, and I was completely paralyzed. This is the end. This was probably the first time since my birth that I was fully conscious of my death. My head went completely blank, and Matsuda-kun. I really do love him. Even if I do say that though, memories like a revolving lantern never came into my head. My memories for him are just feelings I have after all. So I whispered his name in my mind and tried to remember. Matsuda-kun, 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 Matsuda-kun. Huh? Let's try that again. Matsuda-kun, 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 Matsuda-kun. Huh? It's weird. I don't feel any better. I can't remember. My whole body felt fuzzy. The fact that I couldn't remember Matsuda-kun anymore, that fallen in unprecedented attack of fear and loneliness. Is this a feeling of loss from forgetting Matsuda-kun? It was an awful feeling I had never felt before. Like I had been sent to the depths of the underworld. It was an awful feeling. As if my body was being eaten away by 1,000 evil monsters. What's wrong? Your face has gone white. Eh? I looked up at Madurai's face and finally understood. The man in front of me had made me so scared right now. I can't control my emotions at all. Because of that, I can't remember my feelings for Matsuda-kun at all. You look like you're about to be attacked. He laughed at his own awful joke. Matsuda-kun, Matsuda-kun. Even though I was completely overcome by fear, I continued to repeat his name in my mind. But I tried not to show my fear. I desperately whispered his name over and over again. Like a prayer, I repeated his name with my emotions. I want to see Matsuda-kun's face. I want to hear Matsuda-kun's voice. I want to smell Matsuda-kun's scent. I want to touch Matsuda-kun. I want to meet Matsuda-kun. I want to meet Matsuda-kun. I want to meet Matsuda-kun. Then suddenly, my heart leapt and thumped heavily, and my blood pumped through my body at breakneck speed. I felt warm and my limbs frozen from fear, but once again able to move. I want to meet Matsuda-kun. I kept on muttering that small phrase, and the fear I had melted away. I want to meet Matsuda-kun. 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 Having noticed my strangeness, Madoai took a moment to distance himself from me. Perhaps he was cautious by nature. I calmly analyzed and thought about the situation. Remaining collected, I reread the notebook quickly in my head. I suddenly looked at the first page. I could see a certain ability I had written down. I wonder why I never noticed it before. This is surely the power of love Matsuda-kun and I hold. I'll meet Matsuda-kun. I'll meet Matsuda-kun. I'll meet Matsuda-kun. It wasn't just a desire anymore. It was my entire purpose now. I felt warmer just thinking about it. You move now. I raised my head from my notebook and stared at Madoai. I'm going to meet Matsuda-kun. Who's Matsuda-kun? What's with this sudden change in character? It's love, of course. I triumphantly yelled out. It's the power of love I have for Matsuda-kun. I cried out without any shame. The power of love and all that is great. It drives people to do insane things at stupid times. But even after all that, I don't really understand you at all. In any case, you're being a nuisance. As I said that, I glared daggers at Madoai. Are you just desperate or something? This is a little awkward. Desperate people always unpredictable at the best of times. No matter whether they're strong or weak, they're always a hassle to deal with. It's fine, just move. Yeah, I'll get you out. He leaned forward and dropped his center of gravity. He must be preparing to attack, but that's not my problem. He can't extinguish my red-hot fire. I will meet Matsuda-kun. I will meet Matsuda-kun. I will meet Matsuda-kun. I had decided, so with my notebook still open, I stepped forward completely defenseless. Madoai responded by lowering his center of gravity further and drew his fist back to his waist. He was ready, though despite being at the ready, it didn't seem like he was going to make the first move. He was just being very wary. He really does have a cautious personality, but no, seeing as I stopped in mid-stride and declared, Madorai Ishiki, checkmate. What do you mean? That's a pretty lame line. Madorai Ishiki, it's checkmate. I couldn't think of anything else to say, so I just repeated my line. I was like a wild animal about to pounce on my prey, and so I lowered my center of gravity. I remained in that posture and pushed all the power I had into my legs until I couldn't anymore. All at once I released it. I kicked on the ground with all the strength I had and began to run with explosive force in the opposite direction. Model I had prepared for. Hey! I left behind the surprised Madorai as he raised his puzzled voice and went after me. As I heard that voice, I opened my notebook again and checked the first page for my ability written there. That's right, that's what my ability is. I can use it to get me out of this situation. I couldn't remember it before, so I didn't realize I had one. After a while, I could hear footsteps behind me, chasing me. Maybe I should try out predicting something. If I could predict what that guy following me is thinking right now, I bet he would be thinking something like, I don't get that girl at all. Okay. Sorry that was a long chapter, guys.